Hi, my name is Simone Williams, and I'd like to welcome you to episode 2 of Art Like Everything Else, the podcast. Alrighty, so the quote that I'd like to begin today's episode with is a quote by Tess Callahan, and it goes, "All your life you're yellow, then one day you brush up against something blue, the barest touch, and voila, the rest of your life you're green." And so I wonder what you all think of that quote, so feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments below. But I thought that was a really beautiful quote because it kind of goes into exactly what it is I want to talk about today. Something that I do find really cool about the human experience and humanity is that we are all a sum of parts. Like, we are all pieces of people that we have loved and experienced throughout our lifetimes. We are like this mosaic of all these experiences that kind of come together to create and add to the people we are today, and I think that's really beautiful. It's something I've kind of thought about, how just there are so many things that you like pick up from other people that you start to do on your own day to day, or that you learn from other people, or even that you you see someone do something and you might think, oh, that's really cool, I want to do that. Or you see someone has a style that you really like, or you think it's nice and you think they look really cool, I want to look like that too. We do not exist in this vacuum like I feel we are often led to believe, which I think can be really beautiful. To be able to show up as all the people that you love and have experienced that you had like in your life I think is really, really cool. Like, maybe you tie your shoes a very particular way because your older siblings taught you how to tie your shoes that very way, and now every time you tie your shoes you get to think about and kind of reminisce about the time with your older sibling. Or maybe you drink coffee a very specific way because somebody went out of their way and got you coffee trying to guess what you might like, and they just happened upon something you did really enjoy even though you never had it before, but now that's the only way you drink coffee. I think it's very cool how we can show up in these very little ways in our own lives because of how others have shown up for us in a variety of little ways in our lives. And this actually reminds me of this philosophy in Africa. So it's a concept from the Nguni languages of Zulu and Xhosa. I hope I pronounced that correctly. I did try looking it up before starting. But yeah, so it's a compact term from those two languages. In short, I'm kind of just going to read this. So Ubuntu is an African concept that means the profound sense that we are human only through the humanity of others. That if we are to accomplish anything in this world, it will in equal measures be due to the work and achievements of others. And so I thought that was really cool, just as a concept, because it kind of wraps up into what we're talking about right now, how we exist because others have existed. Like, we are who we are as people, as like the individuals we've grown to be because of the community we've kind of grown up in. Like, an often shortened phrase for like that specific philosophy is I am because we are. And so it kind of furthers on that idea of like us not existing in a vacuum. We exist because others around us have existed. And so like you are because they are. But yeah, I found that while looking for things for this episode, and I just thought it was really, really beautiful. Now, kind of what I talked about regarding Ubuntu, the philosophy, is that was only just a brief description. It's not the entirety of the philosophy. I will link a couple of videos and an article in the description for those of you who might like to look into it a bit more yourself, and I definitely encourage it. I do believe it's a very beautiful philosophy. And I think I want to actually look into more African philosophies because there are so many. And I feel like because I'm in the West, there's a lot of focus on Greek and other European philosophies. And I feel that there's not enough on the philosophies from other countries and communities. So I'm kind of like, that piqued my interest a bit. and what these philosophies might look like across different countries and continents and communities. I also came across another Tumblr post that I felt was really relevant to this topic as well. So this is actually a combination of two posts. There's the original post and then there's a response that kind of follows it. So the very first response is from Tumblr user Smoke in Silence, and they said, "Have you ever noticed you pick up little habits and phrases from the people you love? It's no wonder our hearts are so easily broken when people leave. We become a reflection of the people that we care about, and those personality traits stick with us even if the people don't." And then in response, user Viridian Masquerade said, "I make my ramen the way a friend taught me in 11th grade. Every fall, I listen to a playlist made for me by a boy I drove across the border to hook up with. I eat sushi because a girl who won't talk to me anymore made me try it. And Indian food because my best friend's parents ordered for me before I knew what I liked. There are movies I love because someone I loved them first. I am a mosaic of everyone I've ever loved, even for a heartbeat." I thought that was a beautiful exchange, and I agree. I believe that I also am a mosaic of all the people I have ever loved. For example, I know something I do because it's something I've seen my mom do. So for a bit of context, for those of you not from the US, there's a superstition that goes, find a penny, pick it up, all day long you'll have good luck. And oftentimes, the caveat for that superstition is that the penny has to be on heads in order for, like, if you pick it up, you'll have that luck. And so something I've seen my mom do, and I've also taken to doing, is when we come across or find a penny and it's on tails, we'll flip it over and leave that luck for the next person. And so I always thought it was a really nice thing that my mom did, and it felt like a way of trying to like share and be in community, even if not directly. And so it was something that I decided to adopt and do as well. And honestly, like, there are other ways people have shown up in my own personal mosaic that don't stop even just at the penny. Like, there are songs I love just because there are people in my life who love those songs. There are movies I've grown to really like, times of the year I've grown to really like, because there are people in my life who love those things very much. And I just think it is so cool to be able to think about all the ways the things I've come to enjoy came from someone I cared about, even if only for a moment. And so before I end this episode, my kind of final piece of art for consideration before I close out this episode is a quote from a really cool essay from TikTok user Not Whitland. So he's a writer, theater actor, and a content creator, and he writes really good essays. And so this essay is one he read on his TikTok account a while back, and so I won't play the entire clip because it's kind of lengthy, but I will be linking the video in the description box below. The quote that stuck out to me when listening to this particular essay was, "All the places I could go by being a better version of myself would mean nothing if I arrived there alone." So tell me what you think in the comments. And also, I'd love to hear about examples of pieces of the mosaic that makes you up who you are, and like where some of those pieces might have come from. But yeah, that's all I have for today's episode. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye.